The Speaker of the National Assembly, Thandi, Modise, will be presenting the statement on the state of preparedness. And also the present here is the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Amos Masondo. Also the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Thandi, and Mam Sylvia Lucas, the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Also present is the Acting Secretary to Parliament, Mam Penelope Jawa. Also the secretaries to both houses, the Secretary to the National Assembly, and Tate Masibule Lekaso, and the Secretary to the National Council of Provinces, and that Advocate Mudibedi Pindela. So you are likely to engage with them as well as part of the interaction at this press conference. So without further ado, I'm going to ask the Speaker to come and present the statement on the state of preparedness around the State of the Nation address, and we will thereafter interact with you with regard to the questions for clarity. Madam Speaker.
Good morning. This is our first interaction with you, ladies and gentlemen, and the first interaction of the year, and we have to apologize for being late. I hope that that is accepted, our apology for starting late. But we called you today because we thought it was important to update you on the state of preparedness for SONA this year. The Executive Authority of Parliament, we received the letter from the President to host a joint sitting, and we have agreed on the 13th of February at 1900 hours. The theme of SONA this year is consistent with the 2019 democratic elections, and it says that we are following up on our commitments, making your future better. This theme underscores the character of the People's Parliament, which the Constitution employs us to embrace, to deepen our democracy, as well as to strengthen and improve the quality of life of all South Africans. In addition to making laws, conducting oversight and promoting public participation, Parliament will also continue to strengthen transparency, accountability, and responsiveness to the needs of our people, to a truly non-racial, non-sexist, and prosperous South Africa. The State of the Nation address is called in terms of Section 42(5) of the Constitution by the President of the Republic, Ndate Cyril Ramaphosa. It is a joint sitting of the two houses, and one of those rare occasions that brings together all three arms of the state under one roof. SONA provides the President with an opportunity to speak to the nation and to reflect on the wide range of political, economic, and social matters within the domestic and global contexts. During SONA, the President also updates the nation on the progress on government commitments and outline the government's commitment to a program of action on the new financial year. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be having only one item for this special sitting, and it is to receive the state of address by the President. We will preside as the National Council of Provinces and the National Assembly heads. We will use the applicable joint sitting rules. Now, on a few days before SONA, on the 11th of February 2020, we will also celebrate the 30th anniversary of the release of former President Nelson Mandela from Victor Verster Prison, now known as the Drakenstein Correctional Center. Madiba's values of peace, forgiveness, compassion, and human dignity will guide Parliament's year-long program. A mural at Parliament's will reflect the journey since Mandela's release. Parliament will also be preparing for SONA, has been preparing for SONA since last year. We are now ready, and we will have a wide range of guests that will also reflect the diversity of the South African society come next Thursday. We remain vigilant and sensitive to the economic challenges we face, and therefore the budget for SONA has been carefully designed to ensure that key features of the ceremony are retained. In line with the recent SONAs, the dinner for members of Parliament and guests will not take place. We have further reduced costs by withdrawing the junior and civil guards of honor, the eminent persons, and the involvement of the radio programs winners. This has been done without compromising the public participation aspect of the ceremony. Parliament has ensured that through the various categories of guests and through a wide range of platforms, members of the public form part of this important event in line with the institution's constitutional obligation. The advertising and branding budget has also been considerably reduced. This State of the Nation address is the second of this current financial year of 2019-2020. The first was held in June following the 2019 elections. A total of 7.3 million has been budgeted for both events. The June SONA, which also served as the opening for the 6th Democratic Parliament, cost us 2.6 million. Consistent with the trend over the previous years, indications are that the spending on both events will be far less than the budgeted amount. SONA is one event that brings together the three arms of state, as I've said before. It also brings up together under one roof all three spheres of government. And this will be marked, and the processions will consist of the judiciary, the provincial speakers and premiers, who will proceed to the assembly through the main entrance of the National Assembly. As is customary during the state events, a full military parade will lead the presidential procession onto the saluting dais on the steps of the National Assembly to receive the ceremonial honors, the guard of honor by the National Ceremonial Guard and the 21-gun salute, the national anthem, and a salute fly past. In keeping with the character of this institution as an African parliament, an Imbogi, a traditional poet, will recite the poem as the procession led by the head of state is ushered into the National Assembly. A young poet, Miss Masingita Shibambo, also known as Intombi Yamtsonga, from Matiani village in Malumulele, has been selected as the Imbongi for the SONA. She will recite in Sitsonga. The languages of poetry are considered, I'm sure you are aware, on a rotational basis, and this year it is the chance for the Sitsonga language. The Parliament's choir, made up of staff members, will perform on the stairs of the National Assembly, and we will proceed. I think that we will have the customary delegations. The diplomatic corps will be there, the guests of the president will be there, representatives from civil society, faith-based organizations will be there, representatives of statutory and constitutional institutions also are expected. The categories of guests are constituted of about 2,021 invited guests. The guests so far who have confirmed their attendance are former President Thabo Mbeki, former President Kgalema Motlanthe, former Deputy President de Klerk, former Speaker Ms. Baleka Mbete, and former Speaker Ms. Frini Jinwala. After the delivery of the address by the President, the two houses will debate the State of the Nation address by the President in a joint sitting over 2 days on the 18th and on the 19th of February. The President will reply to the debate by members of Parliament on the 20th of February. SONA will again be broadcast live on both the radio and TV, as well as streamed live on the parliamentary website, parliamentary DSTV channel, and the Parliament's YouTube will be used. Ladies and gentlemen, I can confidently say to you that we are ready to host this event, that we have put in hard work to ensure that it is all systems go next week. I also wish to again express our apology for holding you up, but also to express our collective word of gratitude for your contributions as members of the media in increasing the public awareness of Parliament, understanding its mandate, and the appreciation of its work. This is evident through a significant number of media applications that we have received for accreditation, totaling 813 to cover SONA. We have approved applications that will be published on the Parliament's website with all the accreditation details, and I thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, as you've said, the other presiding officers are here to interact with you with regard to any questions that you might have. As the Speaker has correctly said, all the approved applications for the media are now on the website of Parliament, so that whoever whose name appears there will be able to proceed to the accreditation center. The address is also been put there. So we are looking forward to beginning with accreditation on Saturday. Without any waste of time, I'm going to ask if there's any questions. There is a roving mic. Once your hand is up, you will be given the mic. I see Andy Siwe. There at the back, Lindsay. Any other? Budelan will be the third. Okay. You begin.
Can you hear me? Good morning, Speaker. It's Andy Siwe Makinana from the Sunday Times. I see you hope that there will be one item on the agenda on that day, but the EFF has already threatened to hold the proceedings, to delay the proceedings until a certain minister is fired. Is there anything that you're doing behind the scenes to make sure that there is one item on the agenda on that day?
All right.
Afternoon, Speaker. Bulelani from SABC. I just want to get clarity on the budget. You say the June and this year's SONA, there was a joint budget of 7.3 and only 2.6 was spent last year. Now, that would give us an outstanding amount of 4.7 million. So how much are you actually intending to spend on this year's SONA? Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is one item on the agenda. It is to receive, as South Africa and the international world that is interested in the doings of South Africa, the State of the Nation address. That is the only item we are going to entertain. We are entertaining that item because the State of the Nation address agenda is actually determined by the President in terms of that section of the Constitution when he asks to be hosted. So the agenda is that of the President. And no, we have no plan under or behind scenes to do anything. Any joint sitting is held and is chaired in accordance with the joint rules of that sitting, and that is the only thing that we will be applying. We have not, and we do not intend to go out of our way to plan anything extraordinary. The rules of the joint sittings will apply. On the question on the funds, I think the acting secretary can respond. The fact that for the 6th term, for the 2 SONAs that were expected to take place, we had budgeted for 7.6 million. It doesn't mean that Parliament must spend that money. For the first SONA, remember that you have a number of people coming in. You have to host, because by the time they come, they usually don't even have accommodation. You usually budget for a little bit extra. But specifically for this coming SONA, I think the acting secretary will give the response. Mechawa?
Spent 2.1. 16-17, we budgeted 2.8, we spent 2.2. 17-18, we budgeted 4, we spent 1.9 million. And 18-19, 4.3, we spent 1.6. Currently, as the speaker said, on our books, it's 2.6, we still have encumbrances. What we have budgeted now is around 2.1 million. The likelihood is we'll spend less, because we definitely have cut the budget drastically. Like we were saying in the statement, we reuse our adverts, we do generic branding, we don't line the streets like we used to do from the airport, because obviously SONA is per invitation, it's not necessarily an open public event. Thank you.
I think this will be the last round, so if you need to, so that we don't close you out, you'll be the first. Yes. And then you want a second bite? And then and this will need a second bite. But you will come, both of you will come in that order after Bawalo, so that we give him the first bite as well, and probably the last. So in that order, as agreed. Is there any other hand? Because we are going to close after this. All right, sure.
Good day, everyone. Paul Vecchiato from Bloomberg. There's been some talk about possibly moving the time of this SONA, not this one, but in future, to during the day, like it used to be during former President Thabo Mbeki's time, and a far more compact event. Is there any serious discussion about this, or will that at all? Thank you.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that the presiding officers got it. I didn't, so but it's fine. The second, Baba, you are covered. Okay.
Okay, Ulelani from SABC again. Just a question of clarity. Was an invitation extended to former President Jacob Zuma, and what was his response, perhaps maybe for not being able to attend? You understand that he is sick. Just 2 other extramural questions, Speaker. Have you received any court papers from the public protector with regards to this motion of the DA for her proposed removal? And the second one is that has the ATM officially filed their intention to place a motion of no confidence in the president? Thanks.
Thank you very much. I think the first question was about the possibility of bringing SONA back to a morning slot. I don't think it's something that we have necessarily discussed, but anything is possible because it's relatively fluid.
Yes, automatically, all the former presiding officers, former presidents, and former deputy presidents are invited. All the prominent people like the Arch are invited. What we have done so far is to tell you who has confirmed by now before we came here. We have not yet received any indication that former President Jacob Zuma is not coming, and therefore we have not said he has declined. We have simply given you the list of the people who have confirmed so far their attendance. Yes, we have been busy with the lawyers of the public protector. We do know that we do not yet have a court date appearance, but we are in the process of attending to what the lawyers have said. They are serving us with papers, and that is in order. We are in a democracy otherwise. And yes, I have yesterday received notice from the ATM on their motion. I am considering the motion. You do know that any motion that comes in front of us must satisfy certain conditions, and if it is, then we will deal with it as it comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.